Hello and welcome everyone again to a new episode of Loremaster Leveling with me, Sneaky Bot, and our Goblin Rogue Tafrona. Last episode we finished off the quests in Ajara and now we are going towards Ashenvale. But first we are here now in front of the city gates of Orgrimmar because we are going to want to buy our riding skill so that we can finally use a mount. And then we can try and pick an appropriately roguish mount as well. I already took the War Chief Commands quest that asks us to go to the border between Northern Barrens and Ashenvale to start off the Ashenvale quests. So one part of this episode will be basically us getting our mount and then traveling there by way of flight path and just regular old riding. I'm not sure because we've never been to the crossroads, so I don't think we can actually fly there, but let's give that a try anyway since we're going to Orgrimmar to pick up our mount. But yeah, we might actually have to ride most of the way and basically only take a wyvern to what is it called, Razor Hill. And we're going the wrong way apparently because the goblins have their own riding trainer here, which I completely forgot about. I usually always go to the same one that is basically the orc and orc riding trainer next to the rear gate of Orgrimmar. Do we have the goblin mounts? I mean, I don't think we have, so that might be a good idea to buy them, because then we can finally get closer to our achievement of getting 100 unique mounts and get that red dragonhawk that I really like. As we can see, this is Orgrimmar, so we have plenty of other players around as well, which is also great fun. Nice to see that the server is this alive. It was one of those things that really amazed me, gobsmacked me even, when I first started playing WoW, was seeing all these other players in their cool flight forms and warlocks with demons and all that really nice looking gear as well, and I was like, wow, this game is so big. And every time I walk into one of these big cities, that feeling still persists, and I think that's one of those things that always makes me come back to WoW, even if I end up taking a break, because there's just something about the sheer scale of the social experience, if you want, that always pulls me back. Okay, so learn to ride. Don't forget to buy your mount while you're here. You can buy one from Cal Worthaton over there. Okay, let's get the riding skill. Okay, and a trike dealer. Okay, we don't have this mount yet, so that's good. We can just get it. There's just one goblin mount though, but we will still buy it. Alright, the other races have I think 4 or 5 different mounts. Let's also lighten our backpack a bit. Okay, now let's learn this. Oh, we've earned Goblin Trike. It shouldn't be epic though. It should be it should be rare, but it showed up as epic. Strange. Oh well, let's for a bit just find out what type of mount do we actually want. What looks roguish, and we want a ground mount. We have wolves, skeletal horses, wyverns, but those are not ground mounts. We have a crimson death charger. Not sure if that looks that roguish though. The Cloud Serpent is not really a ground mount. I do like the Grand Armored Wyvern, even though it's not a ground mount. The Grand Wyvern, yeah, I like the armored version better. The Cochrane Annihilator, a very strange mount, but one I got nonetheless. The Half-Steed looks nice, but it just makes too much noise. That's the one where you got it in an event regarding Hearthstone. You had to like win 3 games or 4 games, something like that. We have the Warlord's Death Wheel, which is, considering goblins like motorbikes, it's sort of nice. I'm also a big fan of, where did we have the Spectral Wolf, but we are already using that on our Druid, so let's try and get some diversity going on here. Raptors I generally like, but let's go with the Warlord's Death Wheel. That one gets too little life from me anyway, so let's just hop onto it. And there we go. I do have to say, as a goblin, it does look nice and sort of fitting. Not that silent, shall we say, but then again, we are a goblin rogue, so we are sometimes a bit ostentatious. Alright, now let's go to the Flightmaster. Now, which way did we have to go? Normally I don't take this back route in Orgrimmar, like ever, so when I do, I'm slightly lost for a bit. But yeah, so we did have, yeah, we're now at the Taran place in the Valley of Wisdom, so over there we have an elevator that takes us to the Flightmaster, and let's see how far we can actually get with it. There you go. And the elevator is there. And now let's just wait for it to go all the way upstairs. Yeah, I do like the motorbike, even though it was a somewhat strange event that WoW did to promote Warlord. I do like the way the mount looks. It's a nice looking mount. I don't think you can disagree with that. Alright, here we go. Windrider. Where can we fly? We can't fly to Crossroads, but let's go to Razor Hill then, and then use our motorbike from there to get to Ashenvale. So yeah, Ashenvale, as we can see from the world map, is this northern zone here. It borders the Barrens, Fellwood, a great zone that I like, Mount Hyjal, Stone Talon Mountains, and Darkshore and Ajara here. So Ashenvale is part of the, or classically is part of the Night Elf domain, but orcs have often made incursions into it, especially for the natural resources such as wood, as the orcish lands, as we can see here with Durotar, are very, very barren, very harsh. There's not that many resources, even basic ones like wood. So Ashenvale was seen as a great resource for that. Obviously the Night Elves didn't like it exactly, so a lot of the quests deal with or dealt with on the Alliance side the Night Elven issues regarding preservance of nature, making sure that the Horde didn't get too uppity, and with the Horde it dealt with getting the resources that you wanted out of the zone. There were some Satyr incursions, so we had some Burning Legion stuff, which we still do now, if I remember correctly, but since the war between Horde and Alliance has really flared up, ever since Wrath, so with the Wrathgate incident, war was formally declared between Horde and Alliance, but with Garrosh as war chief since Cataclysm, those types of conflicts have only grown worse. So now the quest lines actually focus on alt-right war, and we have like battles going on where we take over Night Elf holdings and all that good stuff that you would expect from a game that's called Warcraft. So let's see. We had the Sulfury River here. Oh, there's the bridge. Impressive that our motorbike can still run when it's completely submerged underwater. But yeah, that's where the crossing of the Sulfury River is. Somehow I always think it's much further south, but obviously if it were much further south there wouldn't be much room for Booty Bay over here. I think that's where Booty Bay is. Let's look. Northern Barrens. Yeah, Booty Bay is roughly over here, if I remember correctly. Up. We didn't want to go quite that far, because otherwise how would we steer? We would manage to not cross the bridge that safely, just due to opening the map into full screen mode. Alright, and here we're now entering the Northern Barrens, what was previously only just the Barrens. On the Alliance side I did many a long trek from Dustwallow March, which is to the south here, all the way down here to get to Tanaris, so more like down here through Thousand Needles and then Tanaris. I remember the first time I went through the Barrens, which was the first time I really came into contact with a Horde questing zone. I mean, I'd been through Silverpine and stuff like that, but not many people quested in Silverpine on my old server. The Barrens was much more lively, even though it was a normal server, so not a PvP server. It was so amazing to see all these Horde players questing while you just followed the roads and were like, oh, what is this? The geography of Kalimdor is also completely different in terms of the ecosystem. So suddenly being in this savanna with lots of hyenas, this tall sunburnt grass, it was completely different from what I had experienced while I quested in Eastern Kingdoms until... When did I enter here? When I was level 30 on my rogue for the first time. So I was, once again, completely gobsmacked. I was like, wow, Eastern Kingdom was already big, but there's another continent just the same size and it looks completely different. And Kalimdor quickly became from the like vistas in terms of what the zones look like, my favorite continent, while I did like the lore much more in Eastern Kingdoms. There's some zones though, like Silitist, which I didn't spend a lot of time in, but that I grew to appreciate over time, even though Silitist is essentially just a very grey sandy desert with Kirai. But the Kirai are, we will get to that when we get to Silitist and stuff like that, but they are a nice piece of lore that I really did enjoy. And this is also one of those views that I really enjoyed. When you go across a flat landscape like the Barrens, we can like see the mountains here at the back, but when we go this way, we can still see the World Tree, but suddenly we see this forest that is just rising up in this awesome display of trees, foliage and greenery behind these mountain ranges. And that is Ashenvale. That is where we're going to go. We see a nice orcish god tower here as well, and it's just something that really fires up my fantasy imagination. We see, I think this is Stone Talon Peak there as well. So yeah, these types of moments when I'm just like traveling across the land, especially on ground, I don't think you get it when you fly as much. When you travel on ground, that's what I enjoy. You see all these vistas, you see this like wow, these amazing zone transitions between, in this case, like savanna into lush forest. And even though it's not that realistic, that's not the point of it in my opinion. It's just this contrast that you perceive, where it's like we're going from one zone into another and they're both completely different, but they also both sort of make sense because you you slowly have this very brief transitionary period where we can see the ground is still like savanna ground, but we get more trees that are taller, more foliage. They're not these they're like leaf trees. They're not your evergreen type trees that, or cypress type trees that we had in the Barrens. They're more the same trees that we have in Ashenvale, and they're more closely clustered together. So we have this hybrid zone going on here. Alright, here's Kadrak, the guy we're supposed to report to. So let's read. Okay, War Chief's command, Ashenvale. So you're the reinforcements. I suppose you'll do fine as long as you can kill night elves. Alright, we have gotten to Honored with Ogrimmar. Morshan defense. Loktar Goblin. Campaign is finally underway. Soon all of Ashenvale will be in the grip of the Horde. As we expected, our offensive is forcing the enemy to test our defenses at every position. Here at Morshan, their assault has been decimated. Yeah, the editor in me doesn't like the use of decimated here. We haven't divided it into 10. But as device titans, they will have no choice but to continue to press us here. Scout the region, rogue. Search for night elf survivors. Cut them down before they get regrouped for another assault. And let's find Gorat. Gorat is one of the Horde's most adept assassins. Ooh, we will probably surpass him then. The mere mention of his name strikes fear into the heart of our alliance foes. He is reliable, fiercely loyal, and until now, punctual. Something's not right, rogue. Gorat's mission was to find and eliminate the elf in charge of this assault on the ramparts. Should be somewhere in the region of Fallen Sky Lake. Find him. Alright. We had some quests here as well. And here we have Tauren. Probably first Tauren quest NPC that we encounter. Our forces are holding up admirably, rogue. Be that as it may, they are yet wounded to attend to, many still in the field of battle. I've created a salve that should grant the wounded enough energy to return to the rampart for treatment. Please administer it to any in need before they become lost to us. And another Tauren, Troon. Greetings, rogue. Welcome to the ramparts. Things may appear a little chaotic here, but do not worry. Kadrak has this juncture sealed up tight. Not a single elf has breached our lines. While you're here, I'm expecting a shipment of fresh supplies from Ogrimmar any day. But our watchmen are running dangerously low on arrows. Bring me any you find and I will make it worth your trouble. Alright. We need to patch up wounded defenders. We need to find 10 arrows. And we need to kill 10 night elves and find the assassin. So let's start doing that then. Here, one Ashenvale skirmisher. Alright. Let's shadow step. Alright, and a bowman. Another bowman. Good. And here, a skirmisher. Nice, they jump to us, meaning we don't have to run all the way over to them just to kill them. Another skirmisher. Let's heal up a bit. Oh, you're using whirlwind. There we go. And here we have a wounded soldier. So let's help him out. Oh, there we have an orc warlock with his imp pet. There we go, a bowman. And I think that we have some arrows that are glittering. Okay, let's help this guy. Hopefully we can still get him, even though, yeah, we could, nice. Even though the warlock was quicker than us at applying the salve. Nice. Some arrows. There's a skirmisher and some wounded defenders. Good. Let's apply the salve here as well. Alright, we've killed every skirmisher we need. But since these guys are in our way, let's just kill them anyway. Ah, that guy just dazed us. Hate being dazed, but oh well. At least the effect is very short. Alright, that's our fourth. Yeah, we need one more guy. We found him. And there's an arrow as well. Oh, 2 arrows. Come on, skirmisher. There we go. Alright, let's apply the salve to one last survivor and then call it an episode. There we go, that quest is finished. But for now, I will have to say goodbye to you. In the next episode, we will continue our start of the Ashenvale zone here. As always, I've been SneakyBot and you have been awesome. If you did like the episode, do give me a like. If you like the channel, do subscribe. And do please share the word as well to all people who might be interested in the content that I'm producing, that this channel exists. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.